guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and the creator is directed by Gareth and stars John David Washington. As a future war between the human race and artificial intelligence rages on, ex-Special Force agent Joshua is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator, the exclusive architect of the advanced AI. I will say this, for an $80 million budget movie like this, it looks fucking amazing. Like, the CGI is on point for this movie. I can't believe how much I was pulled into this movie when it comes to the visual looks of everything. I really was surprised, and honestly, it kind of felt like a James Cameron type of movie. It's like if you took out Gareth Edwards' name and put James Cameron on here, you wouldn't even tell the difference. You wouldn't have. And it looks amazing for $80 million. I don't even think you could make a movie like this for $80 million, but somehow somebody did. And honestly, Gareth Edwards, he did a good job, directing this movie. He directed Rogue One, and I freaking love Rogue One. I think this is one of my favorite Disney Star Wars movies. Probably the best thing that Disney has ever made, and will be the only thing that Disney has really made that's actually really good. And so, but yeah, I did not love the film. I liked it, but I didn't love it. There was a lot of issues I have with it. I mean, so our main lead, John David Washington, who plays Joshua, an ex-Special Force agent, he wasn't really, nothing grabs to me from him as a character. Like, he was there, he was good, he led the film, but as an actual fleshed out character, there wasn't really anything to him. He had a past where he had somebody, and next, he came upon where he cared about this robot child, somewhat cared, and that's essentially it. It's essentially The Last of Us with AI, which a lot of people have been comparing it to other things like Logan, and it's like, well, if Logan can do it well too, with being somewhat also The Last of Us, like, Logan was a great film. But the difference between this film and Logan is that Logan, there was always a clear standpoint of, okay, this is where our headspace of our character is in right now. He doesn't give a shit what's going on. Like, you have this little girl, he doesn't care. He has one objective, and he wants to do that thing. And by the end of the film, it's like, with Logan, you see that change. Logan sees how he cares about this girl, because he sees this girl, which honestly, this movie is very close to similar how Logan is, and I'll get into that. Logan sees X-23 be a kid. Here, Joshua does see this robot girl act like a kid somewhat, because she was asked, what do you want, and she wants robots to be free or whatever, but then it's like, what about ice cream? She gets excited for that. That's a cool, there's a cool moment like that, and us from an audience to see her act like a kid, but there's no really any actual good purpose for him to suddenly also care like we should, and that's how Logan does it very well. And Logan, he sees it, and they have a bonding moment, for example, the farm scene, where Professor X, Logan, and X-23 are having dinner with his family, and you see their sort of bonding, and and he is sort of imagining this is the life that he would want as well. Here we don't really get any of that. We don't get any of that with our character. He's just so he is, but he's also sent out to find this this powerful entity that the AI has created, which is this little girl, which is sort of to Logan as well, where this thing out there was created by something, but they need to track it down so they can destroy it because it's a threat to them. It's somewhat similar in here when it comes to that story. So what ends up happening, really, it's not really he sees it as a kid. This robot has some information that he personally needs, and I don't know how much more detail I can really go into it, but I don't know if it's really that much a spoiler, but how much I'm really going to give off is that he doesn't really actually care about this robot. He's just basically using it until he doesn't really need it anymore. I think he'll probably give it to whoever to destroy it. That's basically like the first mindset that he is in. But there's no actual progression of like, man, like maybe what I'm doing for my own personal reason is wrong, and you know, who wants to destroy this is also wrong, because he sees that as a character. But at some point in the film, he just suddenly, yeah, you're the savior of the robots, and I'm part of the robots team too, because humans suck. Just because it says in the script. Madeleine Yuna Voyles, who plays the little girl in this film, does a fucking fantastic job. Like the emotional scenes that are really working for me is with her and Joshua. Like they, you know, like you do get like, you know, heartfelt scenes with them, like towards the end of the film, and it's mostly because of her performance. And this is her first film ever. It's really well done. Like she has a gift, and but I don't know if it's just me getting invested in the acting or the character. That's the one thing I was sitting when I was watching this movie. It's like, I don't really care about what's going on besides this little girl. I don't care about Joshua, but I'm like blown away how much she is putting into this performance, and she's like upping the value slightly, because that's pretty much all she can do with what she's given, and how much the story has you know, proceeded with us. And so yeah, overall it's okay. It's like, but there's no actual growth between any of the characters. It's just like one scene goes here, one scene goes here. I'm bad because I'm evil. That's kind of how it is. Just really missing that character growth, because there is scenes that I'm like, I see the potential of where you're going, but it just simply doesn't work because the story, like the writing isn't there for it. It's the same problem I have with Avatar, which is a movie that everyone loves, but the writing in that movie isn't good, because by the time in the film, I'm like, why do you care about the Natari? I don't, like, you did have some, you know, montages with their like tribe and all that, but why do you care? Because we as the audience never actually saw you like physically get involved with their community and like, you know, see your slow change of like, you know, character. It's the same thing here. You don't really see anything. It's just like when something, you know, something suddenly big happens and he is involved, really. And honestly, I kind of predicted the film by accident. It's a saying. I actually knew what was gonna happen, and from the get-go, and it's like, it's gonna be this in some form, and this isn't real. So maybe that's also part of it. My bad, but I literally predicted the film. Yeah, I'm gonna give The Creator a C+. It's fine. If you want to see it in theaters, I don't recommend like rushing out to go out and see. It's a cool, you know, thing to see on the big screen, but it's not really something I would necessarily rush out to see. But yeah. Anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts on The Creator down below in the comment section. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys next review. Bye, guys.